Ventura.
It's never easy for me, ever, right? Just making sure that my audio is loud enough. Okay, cool. Here we go. The sound should pop up now, I think. Just give it a minute. Mane will be making a... Nope, take 3. Frozen Cheshire? Yes, Frozen Cheshire. Actually, I was watching this before we were about to start today. I was just like, I need to catch up with this because while Chesh was streaming, I was at work. And she streamed for 6.5 hours, which is almost my whole work time. So, yeah. I did pop in here and there in between to whack away some trolls who were giving trouble and causing havoc in the live chat. So, but then I had to permanently leave because, I had to be at work and 3 sites depend on me. Sound, yes, the sound is back. Is it good enough? Loud enough? If it's loud enough, then I really... So we can really start today, I guess. Finally. um, so hey, everyone, thank you for coming again. I know the time is, I'm still getting used to the time because this is, late, sorry, not late, very early morning for me. So, I'm tired, but I like kicking Steve's ass even when I'm tired. So here we are today. Let's just see. Okay, why are you doing that? Okay, this is better. My pause game is on point, isn't it? uh, you could use a bit more volume. Sure, we can do that. We can definitely do that. Is that better? Please tell me if that works better. If not, then I'll see if I can go even further higher. Is that better? Hi MP, how you doing? Oh, the town is on flood alert. Okay. Take care, man. Be careful. Is that better intrigued for you, or do you want me to up it a bit more? I can try and do that if you want. Just let me know. Hopefully this works. If not, yeah, just let me know. I'll work on it before we start. So while I'm trying to adjust the volume and everything. So Steve went on someone else's channel, and he was a guest there apparently. And when I saw the topic, I was just like, the insanity of woke left guest Steve McRae. I was like, I have to cover this. I cannot ignore this. I think so. Someone in the Discord server posted this, right? Oh, hi Gilindran. How you doing? So yeah, um, honestly, to be honest, the subject of Steam No Sound is better. Sure, I get it. No, I get it. I get it, man. Let me switch to live chat here. So if I'm looking left and right, on this side I have the live chat on my screen, and on this side I have my notes. So if I'm looking a lot this side, it's because I'm literally picking up and referring to my notes. So just bear with me. Let me just see if I can adjust this screen a bit, the chat screen. Intrigue, you didn't tell me if this if the volume is good enough, if it's loud enough for you. If not, then let me know. Okay, there we go, much better. Let me see if this is. You can manage. Oh, is it still low? Ah, man, I really want it to work for you. Give me a sec. It should work for you. It shouldn't be a problem. Hold on. Let me up it. Up, 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 up. We're going up, up, up. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Is that better? Please tell me it's better. I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying. Ugh. Okay. I can manage. I adjusted it on my end. Okay, cool. Alright, no worries. So, I've got the closed captions on for Steve's thing, so hopefully that helps. So yeah, so I saw someone in the Discord server posted that this live stream, and I was like, I have to cover this because the title itself is like, oh my god, it's again, it's like people like Steve who have taken a concept of what is called woke. We know where woke came from, right? If we go and search for history of the word, you know, woke, right? I know. So what does the word woke really mean? So if we go over the npr.com, but it does impact on Republican politics, Ontario, blah blah blah, Ontario politics. Okay, no, we're looking for the history. Hold on. What is the history of the woke and its modern? So, you know, if we start from this, right? Um, um, Woke is currently used by the political left, progressives, blah blah blah. Origin. The phrase woke and to stay woke is not new. It began appearing in 1940s and was first used by African Americans to literally mean becoming woken up or sensitized to issues of justice, say linguist and lexicographer Tony Thorne. So it's really not surprising that people like Steve, who try to desensitize people with the real problems that are present in American society, they have taken that word and have abused it, right? By minimizing it, diminishing, by like, you know, saying the insanity of the woke left. It's not surprising, is it? Someone might say, you Manya, you're starting off by poisoning the well or something, but it's right there in front of us. Like, you know, a word that has such heavy history behind it. You know, it was used by the African American community, you know, in a very very you know, in a very sensitive way around issues of justice. As someone who lives with an African American woman, Steve should know better than to speak such language. But I am a person of color. I am one shade away from being white, according to you know, a vitriolic person on Twitter named Sean. So what would I know, right? So yeah, yeah, Steve as a guest, yeah, right, Joanne. Just give me 1 second, guys. This the chat is too small for me. I need it bigger. Give me a sec if I can make it bigger, 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 bigger. Will that work? That should work. And I go on the left. It can pop up on my face. That doesn't matter to me. I'm just looking. I can make this. What if I come here? Or here. I can come here on this side. Or on top here. Does that work? Because I want the chat to be visible to everyone. It's too small for me. So let's see if we can just adjust things a bit. Yeah, that's better. There we go. I think so this should work. So if I'm looking on this side a lot, maybe I should switch my screens also accordingly for my live chat and for my notes, I guess, because then it will be better. So if I'm looking here, then I'm looking at my notes. That's better. Rodent from the live chat, woke is a conspiracy by big mattresses. Oh my god. Dude. Alright, where's my live chat? Okay, on this side. Here we go. So if I look, so yeah, this is much better, I think. Yeah, this is better. I know it's a bit still weird, but I'll make it work. Okay, so I was like, I have to cover this. Obviously, I have realized that I cannot go beyond 15 to 20 minutes or even 30 minutes in one sitting. So I have made notes only for the first 1 hour for today, and we will go as far as we can, and we'll see how far we go. I don't think so I'll be able to complete 1 hour 38 minutes today. I am tired, and we have the volcano show tomorrow, so I have to catch some rest before that too. So here we are. But and before we start, like, I went and looked at this person's channel, the person who had Steve on as a guest. I don't know them. I don't know what their previous views are. But it's like you can kind of see with this whole like goat picture and, you know, Zoran Mamdani, the fruits of Zoran Mamdani, Islamization of New York City, Nigeria, and the hypocrisy of the woke left. Again, it's all about demonizing, you know, the left. I don't know what they mean by the left. Hey, no problem. You're welcome, Tyagi. And hi, Maya and Finish Song. How you doing? Smitty, hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming. And so yeah, so it's not a good start, in my opinion. And if I go to more, it says, Welcome Sign and Wonders, a Christian apologetics channel dedicated to defending the truth of Christianity with reason, evidence, and the word of God. When you talk about fruits of Zoran Mamdani and Islamization of, you know, New York City, I don't know what evidence or, you know, or reason you're talking with. I don't know, but it doesn't look good, the first look at his channel, or at their channel, sorry. We equip Christians with biblical answers to life's toughest questions. Our mission is to strengthen believers, challenge unbelievers, and proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ with clarity and boldness. End times prophecy, evidence for Jesus' resurrection, historical reliability of the Bible, Christian answers to atheism, refuting evolution, morality without God, the problem of evil, prophecy, creation versus science, defending the gospel, exposing false teachings, and understanding worldviews. Whether you are a Christian seeking to grow deeper in your understanding of apologetics, or a skeptic honestly searching for truth, this channel offers solid argument, biblical evidence, and rational defense for Christianity. Our goal is not just intellectual, but spiritual, pointing people to salvation and eternal life found only in Jesus Christ. I don't know how Steve feels like with being, sorry, my bad, with being, you know, part of a channel that tries to refute evolution, right? I don't know which way Steve is going. Yeah, right, LOL, refuting evolution. Smitty from the live chat, Mamdani is secular as far as I can tell. The people trying to bring religious law to America are conservative Christians. We can always discuss that, right? Smitty from the live chat, this is who Steve has resorted to working with. Steve is desperate, in my opinion. He's getting desperate day by day. If you just look at the Twitter, so this is their Twitter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go this. I'm gonna copy it. I'm gonna go to my homepage. I'm gonna go here. And where is my thingy? There it is. And I'm gonna go quote, and I'm just gonna tag this person here. You know, let them know that we're talking about them, right? And then I'm gonna get out of it. So this is what the channel is. They have 60.7k subscribers, but only 247 videos. So I'm just wondering how they reached that goal so fast. The channel started in 2016, maybe, but only 247 videos. I don't know. Maybe some of their videos went really, really well, I guess. But yeah, it's not looking, I don't know. The numbers are not numbering for me. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. So going back to the original live stream, let's start with this. Hopefully, my pause game is always very good. I'm just looking at Steve's face here. It's so good. It's so good. Low energy wids from the live chat. Steve needs people who will agree and listen to him. Hardly the first streamer to fall off. Why doesn't he just go on Mastodon or Kick? He tried going on Rumble or Kick. Either one of those platforms didn't work for him. He was what he said was he will transfer all his NSS stuff onto one of these platforms and then take everything there and stream from there. Never did it. We know why, because he's lazy. He cannot do these things. He makes commitments and he cannot follow through. He's a lazy bum. That's why. So yeah. So yeah, he can go there if he wants to, but I don't know how successful he will be there. Yeah, Intrigue Feline. Oh yes, thanks for clarifying. He tried Rumble. Intrigue Feline from the live chat just clarified for us. So okay, let's start and let's see. I might speed it up a bit depending on the speed and all that stuff. So we'll see. Here we go.
Don't even respond to them. Just block them instantly.
Usually I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a lot of fucking shitty people out there. They don't generally follow me any longer. It's been a few years, but
we're live right now. Just wanted to let you know we went live. So
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's fine.
I figure I'm on live all the time, but
okay.
Oh yeah, really.
It's like, anyways.
Cool, man.
Hey.
So, yeah, this is Steve McRae, guys, joining us tonight to talk about wokeism and leftists, and it's an honor for me because I used to.
I really hope before the start they tell us what they mean by wokeism and what they mean by leftists, and by leftist based on policy, because that's what really defines you, how you are politically, based on what your policies are. Hi, Air Dodger, how you doing? So yeah, so at the first go, this is like preemptive, inoculation. That's what Steve is doing. He's framing any criticism as trolls, so that, any disagreement is pathologized before the audience even hears it, right? So for example, me, I am a shitty person or fucked up people or blah, 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 right? Again, poisoning the well, instead of engaging in objections or with objections, he brands any criticism that he gets or any critics as, as they're defective people. Yeah. And so he can dismiss their views outright or on sight. What he's trying to do is we'll see as further we go what we're going to what they go with for. Not a great start in the first 30 minutes, not the 30 seconds, and that's why I said I will not be able to complete it in one sitting. So here we are.
Watch you all the time, Steve, on the Non Sequitur show. So I've known you longer than you've known me, kind of. I guess I used to watch you all the time until that homo ruined everything for you guys.
Oh my god!
Of the Non Sequitur show.
Did this person just say call Kyle a homo? And Steve is okay with that? Holy shit! Okay, so we have lost all hope for Steve. So he's okay sitting with people like this. Okay.
It's too bad. It was going good.
It is what it is, right? Yeah, it was going great. We had a very successful podcast, but unfortunately,
yeah, what happened, Steve?
Certain people became dishonest, and I wasn't going to put up with it. And
really?
I got the short end of the stick. I'm okay. I'm in a good place right now, and I have no.
What happened was when Steve got the channel back. Number one, he forgot to turn the ad set. He forgot to redirect the AdSense or the super chats and everything towards his own account. So the first big comeback show that we all did, in which I also contributed during, in super chats and stuff, Kyle got it. Right? And after that, he pulled a Kyle on Chesh by trying to kick her out. He tried to call in the mods, hoping that he would severely criticize Chesh's work in front of them and have her kicked out. Backfired in his face, and people were like, why are you treating Chesh so bad? What happened suddenly? And from there, it just went out of control, and then he ended up accusing me of chargeback fraud, which never happened. GoFundMe clarified that and everything, but till today he has never corrected that narrative. So yeah, it's yeah, Steve, when people hold you accountable for your actions and for your word that you apparently gave, it's yeah, they're not good people, right? They're dishonest, not you. There's never anything wrong with you, right? A little bit of introspection might help, if I might dare say. And Smitty from the live chat, oh, Steve, you're not gonna say anything about the quote-unquote homo. I'm not saying it. It's this guy, Nick, who's apparently the host of this show. He's talking like that. So not just trans people, now gay people too. Yes, exactly, Smitty. So looks like Steve is okay with all this shit, right? Yeah, so here we go. So he's going with what he's doing here is he's trying to establish a one-sided narrative, right, of the non-sequitur show, like no mention of court findings or the stupid like slavery-like contract that he gave Chesh to sign on, while saying he wanted to extricate, but then still wanted to work with Chesh. Like, why would you extricate and want someone as an employer unless they were a partner in some original sense? And then what he's also doing is he's doing selective telling and cherry picking, right, of all the personal history. There are no specifics and just arguments from ethos. Trust me, I was wrong. Trust me, bro. Right? No one needs to take like any old position on the old NSS drama to see that he always presents like complex legal or business issues or even personal issues like that are really, really complex, right? And have more to it with simple like morality, right? Morality play. That's what he does. Like where he is the one who's incorruptible and everyone else is dishonest. He will never be wrong, but everyone else is always wrong. And we'll see. We have seen that previously also. It repeats for his his political rhetoric, his personal rhetoric, everything, everywhere. Complex issues are often like he often flattens them into side A is evil, side B is noble, where he is the side B. Intrigue Feline from the live chat just shared the link and said, I believe this is that mod call. So yeah. Chesh is not here. Chesh gave me the channel for SEO reasons and I've taken over the channel. So this is my channel now. Arrow Dodger. Chesh is she had a long stream some hours before, around 6.5 hour long stream. I was just watching that before we start. So apparently she is I'm quite sure she is tired and she's resting. I am also a manager on this channel, so I come in sometimes and do my thing. So this is what my thing is nowadays. Smacking Steve around. So
regrets.
That's good, bro.
So
yeah.
Of course you will say that because you have sour grapes and you don't have control of the situation anymore, so that's all you can do. Resign to the situation and say, I don't care anymore. Yeah. You embrace me? Thank you so much. Thanks, Arrow Dodger.
I always liked you on there a lot because I mean, I'm a Christian, but I always respected your agnostic viewpoints. Like, you don't know, right, if there is or there isn't. You weren't like so much of a hater of God or anything. You just kind of told people like, I don't know if there's a God or not, right?
Well, I try to build bridges, right? I mean, I don't think anybody really knows if there's a God or not. I think that people that claim there's a God, they do so as a belief, as a agnostic nature, not as an epistemological claim. Yeah. So when somebody says, I know that God exists, I'm usually going to probe them. What is it that you use to come to the conclusion to claim knowledge, right? Because you would agree, knowledge is a whole different ballgame, right? We're going way beyond just beliefs.
I agree.
So I would just let people know. Look, people have the right to believe what they want. I'm a First Amendment advocate. I'm a constitutionalist. I'm a originalist, textualist. So I believe very strongly people have the right to have religion. Although there are some exceptions when those religions become dangerous, such as Islam, things like that.
Oh, now we are being Islamophobic now. Okay.
A little more qualms about it, right?
I agree.
So now he's being Islamophobic, but starting going back from where we picked off from, he says, I don't really think that I don't think anybody really knows if there's a God or not. I probe them on claims of knowledge. I'm a First Amendment advocate, constitutionalist, originalist, textualist, blah 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 blah, right? So what he's trying to do is he's trying to paint himself as someone who is careful, who's a neutral epistemology nerd who just asks, what evidence do you have, right? I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking what evidence you have. This is then he uses that constructed self-image, right, to use as a, what do you say, as borrowed credibility later. That's what he does for his wildest political claims, right? I'm careful, well-read guy, therefore my conspiracy theories, they must be well-grounded somehow. You know, and we will contrast this in the later sections as we go, right? We have seen in our previous live streams also that he's always making sweeping factual claims without he never cites any evidence, and he mistakes even basics of judgments or theories, and even history, right? And contradicts established investigations, and adds when there's nothing, when that stuff is not there, right? So we know that. My Paul's game is always on point. So moving on.
I would call Islam more of an ideology, a barbaric ideology, but I mean, freedom of religion is what they got, right? So you can't really pick and choose.
Nick, are you tired? I guess I can see a little bit of me in Nick. I think so. He's tired like me.
Choose if you have that in your constitution, but like you were saying.
So Intrigue Feline from the live chat, JAQing is basically a mote and belay, where the retreat is to claim they are JAQ. Just asking questions. Yeah, got it. Yeah.
When you have a religion that's basically trying to destroy your Western liberties and freedoms and way of life, then I don't know. That's kind of where I draw my line in the sand, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah, because it's not just the religion, right? It's the ideology and the philosophy that's behind it that, of course, you know, most of us, whether you're a believer or not a believer, whether you're Christian or an atheist or agnostic, we're going to have problems with, right? I mean, and so I think personally that one of the mechanisms from which Islam is being used against us is weaponized empathy, right? They want Americans to be so...
Who are they? I would love to know. Who are they?
Tolerant of everything that we forget that too much tolerance is still a bad thing, because that allows insanity to creep into our society. That allows terrorism to creep into our society. And I think that's some of the things you want to talk about tonight, about the woke agenda and how that creeped in. And they're all interrelated, which is funny because, you know, there's something called
woke agenda. Here we go. And we are 3 minutes in, but they haven't described what wokeism is or who are the left people. Nothing like that, right? So if I look at my notes, let me just bring up my notes, right? So he says that I believe people have a right to religion, although there are some exceptions. When those religions become dangerous, such as Islam being used against us with weaponized empathy, too much tolerance allows terrorism to creep into our society. So I bet you, with any ideology, it's the same thing. And excess of anything is bad, right? So I hope Steve keeps the same energy when he talks about Christianity, right? And if he's talking about even Hinduism, my religion, or any other religion, right? Or any other ideology, or even politics, you know. EMP network from the live chat finally made it home. I'm drenched, feet are squelchy low. Welcome home. Take your time, get your boots off, wash your feet, you know, get a warm cup of tea and rest, right? Hi Hawks girl, how you doing? So what he's done, so what we can discuss here is what are the facts and what is the rhetoric, right? He's taking one religion and he explicitly frames it as a structural security threat, right? Rather than a faith protected like others. He's offering no data again, right? No rates of extremist violence versus population, no distinction between Islamist organizations versus ordinary Muslims, nothing. The quote weaponized empathy unquote phrase, it's pure framing. And also it's he's trying to invoke an emotional response from his audience, right? By going, oh, they're trying to weaponize our empathy, right? It's not a recognized analytical concept in any counterterrorism literature. It's a way of labeling basic civil rights like freedom of religion, a protection from discrimination, as a naive self-destruction, right? And then what the logical issues here are hasty generalization and composition, conflating extremist groups with 1.9 plus billion Muslims around the world. Slippery slope fallacy. He says that tolerance leads to insanity, leads to terrorism, right? With no causal chain, they're just vibes. That's what they are. Because he's not presented us any data, right? As I said, no, he's presented us no rates of extremist violence versus population, nothing, right? And then he also has a double standard. He exempts Christianity from similar scrutiny, despite Christian-identified extremists carrying out violence in the U.S. and elsewhere. So the actual counterterrorism policy, it focuses on organizations and behavior, not branding entire religions as exceptions to basic rights, right? So that's where he is totally wrong. If you look at the facts that are actually there versus his rhetoric and versus all the logical issues that are present here. God's auditor from the live chat, didn't I say he was like 6 months from going full Christian? Yes, someone did mention in our chat that, he's on his way to become a Christian. So here we are today. Right? Arrow Dodger from the live chat, this man would 100% confuse the Mahabharata with the Quran. Oh yeah, he will. He will. I can guarantee you that. He can try and read Mahabharata, he will never get it. He can try and read the Vedas, he will never get it. There's someone who's a Hindu. I know people like him. They pretend that they know what they're talking about, but they don't. So, yeah. Give me one more minute, and we will go further. What are we doing? Do I need to go for... No, I don't need that. Sorry. How do I get rid of you? Okay, there we go. That's better. That's much better. Alright, so going further down, I'll just scroll through my notes as we go. There we go. Next.
Intersectionality, where you mix all these different types of things like gender and sex and race, and they just throw them all together and trying to find conflict through all these different...
Hold on. What?
There's something called intersectionality, where you mix all these different types of things like gender and sex and race, and they just throw them all together and trying to find conflict through all these different things of who's more persecuted, right? The privilege versus persecution. And it's the same thing, I think, with society, that they want this society where everybody gets along and everybody's happy, but by doing it in a way that divides everybody, which is a contradiction. Which
I've noticed that lately.
Famous for.
I've noticed that the leftists are like siding up with Islam lately. I don't know if you've noticed that. That's what I've noticed, bro. Like, how there's so many leftists that are basically taking over college campuses and shutting down roadways, doing their pro-Palestinian, protests. But like, obviously, what's going on in Nigeria right now and what's been going on in Syria and all this stuff for the last few years. I haven't seen one protest from one leftist protesting anything about like the actual genocide that's happening in Nigeria.
Okay. Let's start with this whole thing with intersectionality, where you mix gender, sex, race to find conflict. They want a society where everyone gets along by dividing everyone. It's a contradiction. Reality check. Intersectionality, which is a Crenshaw concept, right? If I look at my... Hold on. If I go here... No, it's not that. My notes are always fuzzy. Give me one sec. Hold on. My notes always go up and down for some reason. Da da da. Da da da. Ah, yeah, this is the one that I'm looking for. Sorry. Sorry, this is the one. And then these are my two sources that I'm using. Sorry, my bad. Let's get rid of this. Can I download this? Ah, beautiful. Go away. ResearchGate. Yep, so these are my two citations that I'm using here. Go away. Go away. This is how it's done, Steve, you know. So, going back to my Word file. Yeah. So, intersectionality, it is a framework to examine like how different axes of disadvantage overlap. For example, how racism and sexism can interact for black women. You know, it's descriptive and it's not inherently divisive, right? And people can misuse or oversimplify it, but that's a criticism of implementation, not of the core idea. And that's what Steve is doing here. He's oversimplifying it, right? When it's a tool and it's a descriptor of the issues. And then what fallacies he's committing here is that he's committing strawman. He reframes intersectionality as finding conflict for its own sake instead of analyzing the structural inequality that's actually there. And then he uses a lot of loaded language here. He's like, they want to divide everyone, and he smuggles in intent. And he's doing mind reading here, you know, mind reading progressives as like as if they are some, you know, malicious saboteurs. It's a classic move where you are recasting analytical tools as conspiracies to keep everyone angry. It's a tool, Steve. That's what it is. Right? If anybody wants to have a look at this, I can post it in the live chat and they can, you know. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Boop. Oops, sorry. There we go. Right, and then this one. Sorry. And then this one here. Psychology in Transitional Social Science. Here we go. Hi, right-handed Sith. How you doing? Here we go. That's the second one, right? Smitty from the live chat. Unlike conservatives who are very independent thinkers, until an authority figure they like. Oh, okay. all right. So yeah, go away. Remove that, and we come back to this, right? So that's what he's doing here, and this guy is, and what Nick is doing is he's indulging in whataboutism. He's like, why aren't we talking about this? What about this though, right? What about what genocide is happening? And then he's making this accusation against the left, you know, the left, right? That, oh, they're not talking about what's happening in other countries against the Christians. And my question will be, is the right doing it? I don't know. But again, I might be also indulging in whataboutism, but this is just pure whataboutism. And this is not the Muslim community's fault if we are not discussing what's happening to Christians in other countries. We are not talking about, and if Nick is trying to equate what's happening between Israel and Palestine to what's happening to Christian in other countries, that's totally a stupid comparison, because the conflict that's happening between Israel and Palestine, America is directly involved in it because it's financially supporting Israel, right? That's the question there. It's not about the religion of the Palestinians. It's about the regional conflict in which America is a direct contributor, right? I don't know about other countries whether America is directly involved in there or not. And that's the thing. This is also surface level. There's no in-depth conversation that's going on here. Right? Give me a second. Sorry. False equivocation. Thank you, Intrigue Feline. That's what it is. False equivocation. And we have not even finished 4 minutes now. Alright. Let's move forward.
For example.
Yeah, again, I think they only protest things that gives them a vehicle, right? That gives them notoriety. A lot of them, when you ask the specificities of what's going on in Gaza, many of them don't know. I don't even have a firm handle on all that stuff.
So you don't know, Steve, what's happening in Gaza, and you are talking about Nick asking these questions that Nick asked them about Gaza. Them, we don't know who they are. Who the hell are you talking about? Right? Who is them? Left? I'm on the left. I can tell you what my policies are, and you can specify, or you can find out whether I'm on the left or not. I know what's happening in Gaza. I know, like, Israel is full of shit. I know the Palestinian people are suffering, and I know that that Hamas is retaliating because they have been able to come in and fill in a power vacuum because the Israelis, or not the Israelis actually, the Israeli government is refusing to back off and is continuing to oppress the people of Palestine and drive them out of their homes by bombing them. So I know what's going on. I know more than you. And you're just sitting here casually just talking bullshit. Do you really care about these issues, or do you just like to hear yourself talk? Yeah, like, we shouldn't be funding IDF, we shouldn't be funding Hamas either. Best thing is to find a fucking solution. Israel needs to back off. The Palestinians need to be able to come back home. Right? Right, and Smitty is right from the live chat. How many specific details do you need to know about Gaza before you're allowed to oppose bombing hospitals and schools? And yeah, by Steve's own logic, he shouldn't be talking about this at all. Now, and I don't know about Nick, how much Nick knows.
It's a very complicated situation that goes back many years. I am Jewish, so I do know a little bit. I do know.
You said you didn't know what's happening in Gaza, but now you know a little bit. Okay.
I think the Palestine. Yeah, my mom's Jew. My mom's Jewish means the kids were Jewish.
Right on.
But do I think Palestine was an actual country? Kind of no.
What? Okay.
I think when you're trying to say something like globalize the globalize the what is it? What I forget the saying. The infada. And try to say, okay, we want to purge from the river to the sea kind of stuff. It's calling for a genocide of the Israeli people.
Oh, right? What? Okay. All right. Okay. Let him finish. Okay.
I'm not saying Israel has been perfect by any stretch of imagination. They've had problems.
Israel has caused a genocide, Steve. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. This guy. Holy shit. Hi, Wendy. God's order from the live chat. Steve's Jewish when it suits him. Mormon when it suits him. Agnostic when it suits him. Yeah. Whichever the wind blows, right? That's what his whole thing is. Like, wow. Just fucking wow.
Definitely.
But if it comes down to people that are supporting Hamas and Israel, I mean, most normal people are going to choose Israel, right?
No, I don't choose Israel. Never, ever. That doesn't mean, that also doesn't mean that I choose Hamas. What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Like leader and basically anyone from Palestine has admitted like what would happen if Israel laid down their arms today. They say they'd
be wiped
off of the map. Like,
oh really? Who are they? Can you you know what? Actually, for this one, I would say citation needed. Give me a fucking citation, Steve. Where's my citation, bitch? Give me a fucking citation. Where? Please show me where it said. Just sitting there and just yapping away doesn't mean that that happened. Again, just sitting there and casually just like throwing these things out without anything to show for.
They don't recognize Israel, just like Israel doesn't recognize them.
Hawkskull from the live chat, he's conflating Palestinian people with Hamas like every other genocidal apologist. Yeah, just like people sometimes conflate Israelis or even Jews with the Israeli government, right?
Right. So.
Right.
Palestine does not have the capability to defend itself, but we can discuss about that topic some other time.
Yeah, that's
interesting. So Nick is another yes man.
Interesting that you say that.
How is it interesting?
What was I gonna say now about Israel and Palestine?
Oh, this guy forgot.
Anyway.
Oh, there's so much to say. Like I said, it's not a topic that I've like versed in, and then so I try to avoid it.
But I'm not versed in this topic, but I will definitely take the side of Israel. Talk about having a bias, right? Right-handed Sith, Goblin Queen Chesh. Having to choose between Israel or Hamas is a false dichotomy. Yeah, it's a false dichotomy. Yes, you're right. You're right. Just because one supports, does not support Israel doesn't mean they support Hamas. But I would say the Palestinian people have a right to their homes, and they have been slaughtered and driven out of their homes by Israel, by the Israeli government. Especially Benjamin, that fucking piece of shit, right? So what's happening here is he brings up this quote of the, like, you know, from the river to the sea, and is calling and says that that's calling for the genocide of the Israeli people. He raises a very specific nuance there, right? I'm looking at my notes here. The phrase, quote, from the river to the sea, unquote, is contested. Some groups use it in explicitly eliminationist ways. Others use it to call for a single binational state with equal rights. Both usages exist, which is why even some Palestinian advocates have disavowed the slogan. But some Israeli groups have used similar territorial language historically. And where I'm getting this from is... Where are my references? Where are you? Here we go. And this one. Here we go. Hold on. That's AI generated. I'm not looking for AI generated. I'm looking for BBC, not Explore Rivers. Where is it? Let's look at the other one, the Britannica one. Background, slogans, blah blah. Where is it? Oh yeah, here we go. Found it. Nope. 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 Where did it go? What the hell? I thought I had it. Ah, God, I can't find it. Damn it! Okay, maybe this one might work. Nope. Where did it go? God damn it. Okay, I can't find it. Damn it. Where did it go? I hate myself. Where did my fucking reference go? Da, 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 da. Okay, I can't find it for some reason. Okay, whatever. Let's get back. But I'm looking at my notes now here. Let me see if I can find it. One more try and let's see if I can find it. Maybe I put it somewhere where I thought it was the most, you know. Okay, I can't find it now. Okay, whatever. Fuck it. Let's see. No, I'm fixated on it. Now I have to find it. God damn it. Let's see. Okay, moving on. We'll move on, and then we'll see if I can find it later.
Oh, it's about the left. It's about the left. I was going to talk about
the left. I know. I do know.
The whole queers. The queers for.
Do you know about the left? Because you have not cited a single policy about the left of the left, or not even where you stand on any policy, right? You just talk in vague shit. That's what you do. Yeah, so here we go. I found it. So yeah, so this is what I found. Here we go. Wikipedia at my rescue, I guess. Go away. It's the Liquid Party. Yeah, so the Jordan has two banks. This one is ours, the other one too, suggesting a Jewish state extending beyond the Jordan River. In 1997, the concept appeared in an election manifesto of the Israeli party Likud, which stated, quote, between the sea and the Jordan there will be only Israeli sovereignty, unquote. The current ideology of the Israeli government in 2024 is rooted in the revisionist Zionism, which sought the entire territory of mandatory Palestine. So, like, both sides are guilty of using it, and usually the extremists use such slogans in eliminatist way, right? In annihilating way, if I might dare say. So yeah, so this whole thing, you know, he's collapsing all uses to, you know, quote unquote calling to genocide, and what he's doing is, like I think so Intrigue mentioned, false equivocation, and he's treating the most extreme interpretation as the only possible meaning. That's what he's doing, right? You don't have to like the slogan. That's fine. Like this whole thing that he has, like everyone who says this wants genocide claim, is again oversimplification, overgeneralization, and guilt by association. That's what it is, right?
Palestine movement. That was another thing I wanted to bring up.
And also Armed Queers. That was the group Armed Queers. I think it was Palestine. They were part of the organization that was part of the Antifa group that assassinated.
What? It's ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. What the fuck is he talking about?
Assassinated Charlie Kirk.
Another lovely organization.
What? He's just like, now he's like accusing an LGBTQ plus organization and an anti-fascist organization of killing Charlie Kirk? What? Where the fuck did this come from? My pause game is on point, guys. Seriously. It's on fucking point. What is he talking about? Where the fuck did this come from? Again, Steve, citation needed. What the fuck are you talking about? Huh?
You really see the fruits of the left come out after all this stuff. Like a guy that, God bless Charlie Kirk, let him rest in peace. I thought he was amazing, the work he did. He was like,
What work did he do? Did he like, sorry, my bad. Did he like bring in any policy changes or introduce any policy changes or start any, start the ball rolling for any policy changes that benefit people? No, he hasn't. He was just a guy who went around colleges, debating college students, because he knew that they are still in learning and he cannot he won't receive much opposition and he can just pretend that he knows what the fuck he's talking about. That's what he did. And he got paid for it also. He made YouTube videos. He monetized it. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Like a Ben Shapiro, but better, if you ask me. You really see the soul and the fruits of the leftists, or whatever you want to call it, after this whole thing. Like all the people celebrating his death, and it's just like the vile remarks that they've made, and all the.
Please show us. Please show us where people are celebrating his death. And like again, overgeneralization, guilt by association, and just saying, yeah, the other side is evil because some people were celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Majority of the people have condemned it, even on the left. They have condemned Charlie Kirk's assassination. Like, what the fuck you're talking about? And Steve just casually throwing the LGBTQ community under the bus, the anti-fascist, organizations under the bus. What is wrong with you, Steve? What's gone wrong with you? Holy shit, this guy. Smitty from the live chat, dude literally sports the thing he was complaining about when Muslims do it, according to him. Yeah.
The conspiracies that are still coming out about Erica and Charlie, and it's just.
Well,
it's not the left who's coming out about it. It's about people who are trying to make a buck off it, that are coming with these stupid conspiracies around Charlie and his wife. And it's on both sides, if I'm not wrong. And again, I will just say, citation needed. Give me a fucking citation. There's no, like, what is this bullshit? We have not even crossed the 10-minute mark here. And they're just sitting there and just saying the most stupid shit ever.
A lot of those are from Candace Owens. But I
don't like Candace Owens at all.
I'm not a fan either.
Okay, Candace Owens. Yeah, we know one of them was Candace Owens. Okay, cool.
I think she can twist anything. I think that her whole platform is basically twisting
She's
things.
Using Charlie's death for clout. I don't like her.
Oh,
right? Like conspiracy theories like, pro-Palestinian queer Antifa killing Charlie Kirk, LOL. Right? Isn't that a conspiracy theory, Nick? Casually saying, oh, the other side is, cooking up conspiracy theories, while he mentions these, and Steve just, supporting that without any, references or citations. Again, and trying to, paint this whole thing with a false dichotomy, right? Or everything is black and white, like there's a noble right versus the vile left. Noble right, what do you say? Mourning the death of, Charlie Kirk, and then, while leftists left celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. What the hell? Who is this guy, Nick? What does he do? Like, he's... What are his qualifications? I want to know.
Whatever she's using it for, she has no real evidence to support a lot of her strange conspiracy things. But you're right. When Charlie Kirk was murdered, you saw a dichotomy between types of people. You saw the people that said, hey, look, this is a political assassination. This is going to be forever.
Charlie Kirk was not a political person. He wasn't running for elections and stuff. So I don't know how it is a political assassination. It's an assassination, sure. But I don't know if it's a political assassination.
Immortalized and remembered up there with Martin Luther King, Robert,
What? No.
Kennedy Jr. It's going to be something that reverberates through American history for the entire time America's around. It's a big.
Again, trying to invoke emotion, fear mongering, and all that stuff, right? That's what he's trying to do. Smitty from the live chat. I'm curious if Nick could say literally anything that would get pushback from Steve. He literally portrayed atheism as hating God, and Steve didn't push back on that. LOL. You would think the definition of atheism would be the one thing you can count on Steve for. Nah, that's gone in the bin. That's gone in the bin here. Steve has given up on that totally because he knows it's not lucrative. So, or he thinks it's not lucrative, so he's just given up on it. And I might be mind reading here, but that's what it seems like. That's why he's not giving any pushback. But good observation, Smitty. That's a very good observation.
Big event because he could have been a potential president one day. A lot of people were actually saying.
There you go. Inciting emotional response from his audience by saying, "Oh, they killed a possible future president." Like, what the fuck? Who's indulging in emotions now, Steve?
Definitely could have been president, but
could have been president.
You saw the dichotomy between the people that were saying this was a brutal political assassination, and then you had people cheering it on as if it was a good thing. And let me make it very clear. Even if you hated the guy, even if he was Nick Fuentes, who I do not like in any way, shape, or form, but if Nick Fuentes was up on a campus having conversations with kids, even though I don't like what he says, he has a right to say it, to advocate or be happy that he was brutally murdered was something I would find to be repugnant.
Yeah,
I would not be celebrating the death of the brutal assassination of Nick Fuentes. It would not something to be celebrating.
No, I agree with you, bro.
But that's what they were doing.
I wouldn't celebrate the worst, most vile leftist transgender activists. I would not celebrate their death if they got.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
While leftist transgender activists, and Steve is just sitting there and he's just letting it happen. Holy shit. Wow. Like, what the fuck? So, let's see. Charlie Kirk, what's factually true is, like, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. There's a suspect, Tyler Robinson, who has been charged with evidence that suggests ideological motives. There have been gross online reactions celebrating his death from both anonymous accounts and some fringe, figures. There's also been a wave of misinformation and politicized exploitation by multiple sites. That has happened. Where Nick and Steve distorted, it's not this one. Yeah, their thing on, like, look how the left celebrate death storyline, right? It is a selective outrage criticizing one side's ugliness while ignoring the mirror image behavior from their own camp, right? They condemn Hamas and they are okay with what Israel is doing, right? But then they're condemning people supposedly on the left, or the whole left, that's celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, right? Noodle Disco, hi.
Leftist transgender activists, I would not celebrate their death if they got.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Again, inciting emotional responses, fear mongering.
I mean, yeah, I don't agree with them either, but I definitely wouldn't be celebrating them.
We'll see that. We'll see what happens when it happens, if it happens. I don't believe you. I think Steve and Nick will be the first people who will celebrate it, in my opinion.
Getting shot in front of their kids and wife and what, any kind of murder like that. It's really.
And by the
sad.
way, I am fully paying attention. I'm just trying to get the live chat over here so I can kind of like.
Oh yeah, no problem, bro.
Everybody. So
Yeah,
I'm definitely not.
What live chat? Are you live on your own channel? Is that it is? Is he fucking live on his own channel? Hold on. Let's have a look. What? Wait. Go away. I go here and I look at the live. Nope, not here. What about the non sequitur show? I don't know what live chat he's looking at. Live. Yeah, nah. So what live chat is he looking at? What the fuck is he looking at? Or is he has the live chat, this live chat on display? Maybe. Okay.
Not
Whatever.
ignoring you, my friend.
No, it's okay. Wrangler, if you want to join the conversation, bro, you're more than welcome to. I put a link.
Ash Scott from the live chat, like people decide to be left or right based on how they feel about one issue, and then magically their opinions on everything else are in line with the tribe's beliefs. How? Right?
Out there.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you can come on there. I think you and Wrangler would probably have a good conversation.
Oh, we're gonna have another
all three
person
of us,
coming in.
But I think Wrangler leans a little left, but he's kind of the coolest leftist that
Even
I've ever
better.
met.
Oh, leans on the left, but he's like, okay, let's see how leftist they are.
Yeah, it would be better. Yeah, for sure. So Wrangler, if you want to come on, it'd be awesome to have some back and forth with quote unquote leftists. He's not. He's what I would call a conservative leftist. So, but that's okay. You can come on up, buddy. Yeah,
Conservative
man,
leftist? What the
did
fuck
you
is
say
that?
Your degrees were again? You went to college, didn't you, back in the day?
Well, here's the thing. I graduated
Yeah,
from Naval
please.
Nuclear Power School.
That's
Yes,
right.
please
I
go on.
remember
Tell
that.
us.
But that's a certificate. It's not a degree, right? So basically, I went through nuclear power school, Knowles Atomic Power Laboratory. I was qualified to operate and train people on nuclear reactors, but it's not an actual college degree. Obviously, it's a lot of coursework.
Yeah.
But I also took 4 years of college after
Yeah, you don't have a degree, Steve. Just say that.
that. But
All
I
right,
didn't
just say
finish my
that.
degree, so I'm not credentialed in that way. But I took a hell of a lot of courses. I mean, I took courses everything from calculus, physics, astronomy.
Why didn't you get a degree then?
Accounting, history.
Accounting? Really?
I mean, so I had my share of the general courses work that most people would take in college and some other.
I remember you were always battling the flat earthers on your show, and your courses came in handy for some of that stuff.
But I've never overblown my credentials.
Oh,
No,
really?
I know.
Ever, and nor would I ever do so. But I think that's what made me popular in the Non Sequitur show. I was a lay person for all practical purposes, but pretty well read. I think. I mean, I like to read.
Yeah, you were like an educated lay person for sure. Yeah.
So I was able to take the topics that we were talking about and basically translate them from the highfalutin, stuff to more of a lay person's audience. And so that was kind of, I thought my job was on the show to basically discuss and kind of moderate between the
He's just trying to build personal authority here, right? The guy asked him a simple question. Do you have a degree? And he's like, blah, 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 blah. You don't have a degree.
audience
say that.
who was watching, because we would have thousands of people watching, and the PhDs and the experts or the people having a debate on the channel.
It's crazy how fast you guys blew up. Like, man, you had so many people watching.
Oh, we are going into nostalgia now. Those were the days. Those was the days. Oh my god.
Live chat and like, I mean, it was just the topics, or like you guys had good technical stuff, and like, did you have someone doing all your technical stuff while you were talking?
Yeah, yeah.
Like in the background?
we had Bullinator, which was a producer, but he passed away.
That's sad.
Just not long.
Don't take his name. You don't deserve to take his name. Fuck off, Steve.
After the show got hijacked, as you know, not to dive too much into it, but my business partner stole the show, stole $60,000. He now owes me like $150,000.
Those 60,000 are not yours. They are Ruhif's, actually. I would, if I might dare say, all the money that was spent on the case was spent by Ruhif.
I'll never see.
Yeah, that's too bad.
But you know, when my producer died, that was really the end of it. It's hard when you have a dynamic with
Really? So all the work you did on the sideline after Boole, that's nothing? It just devalued all the shit just like that? Okay.
people. Why do you have the two host and the producer? And you know, we were all working together to make a product. But when you have one person just think that the product is all them, and the person passes away, then you have
Yeah,
years
no
of
mention of
litigation.
Chesh's work, just totally swept it away and erased it, right? God's auditor won't overblow my credentials, but I distinctly remember the lawsuit being for 30K. Yes, like, yeah, hashtag what about Boole? Yep, if I can have the Boole symbol in the live chat, guys, that will be great. Right? Yeah, Chesh had it, EMP Network from the live chat, Chesh had it very polished and he shat all over it during the mod call. Yeah, he did. He thought he would overly criticize her work and everybody will just fall in line with him and he will be able to kick Chesh out, but, you know, that didn't happen. Because Chesh always shared her frustrations with us about what was going on. and we could see what was going on the live streams that were happening, the new ones that picked up when the channel came back, right? Ash Scott from the live chat, the product was neither of them. People watched for the guests, not the hosts. Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. So yeah, so just this is all nostalgic talk, the good old days.
I'm not ever gonna restart the non sequitur show.
No.
At least not in that format. I still keep the channel active, and I still stream on my own channel. But I do more like this kind of stuff.
So you still have the rights to like the channel itself?
Oh yeah, I won the right. Yeah, I have all the rights.
Okay,
All my
cool,
name
cool.
Yeah.
Won the rights, almost
Yeah,
said
well,
that.
maybe you should. Might not be a bad idea. Like the brand the name is still there. Maybe you could.
No,
one
it's
day
not.
Start it back up again
Steve
if you felt
just-
like it.
I don't think I have the wherewithal. I mean, I had a lot of physical health issues the last couple of years. I'm fine
Excuses,
now.
yeah.
excuses,
Well,
It's
excuses.
just kind of put my life in perspective, and
Yeah.
I've been focusing on real life stuff much more. I mean,
Have
sure,
you
I have my
been?
online presence,
Have you been?
I noticed that on Facebook and stuff, which is cool. And like, we didn't know each other very well, and we still don't. But like, I didn't know that your political views were so like the same as mine. Remember, we were kind of
A
thinking.
lot
like,
of people didn't apparently. People
Yeah,
thought I
right?
lost my mind when I announced I was MAGA. People thought that I went crazy, and I'm like, but I was like, these have been my views since I was a kid. I haven't.
Really? These were your views since you were a kid, so you were so you were a fraud when you were on the NSS show, and when you were working with Chesh, and when you sat with besides me and you talk about shit, you were an acting fraud at that time. Got it. Got it. Thanks for clarifying that. What the fuck?
really changed my political views.
You
What I think
remember
happened-
we were sorry, cut you off. Remember we were thinking for like weeks, like what can we do for a topic? I was trying to find a topic to do with us, right? And then it just clicked. Like I was looking at all your
We
posts.
know, we have seen that clearly, Steve. That there's a reason, Steve, that everybody thought that you had gone crazy when you said you were MAGA. There was a reason because we saw that it was a big paradigm shift in your views from when you were on the NSS and then between when you didn't have NSS and when you got the NSS back again. This moving to MAGA is a huge paradigm shift. You were pro-trans, you were pro-LGBTQ, you were anti-fascist. You knew exactly, you know, that YouTube is a private platform. It's not nobody has a right to YouTube. And protection of free speech is against the government. It's protection against the government, not like defamation or slander or harassment of you know, citizens, other citizens. You knew all that, and you're totally now on the opposite side. You're now an entitled bum that's who you are. Who's on benefits and so he doesn't care what happens with others. We saw that shit. Everybody has seen that shift. And I've demonstrated that in the past. Chesh has demonstrated it. So you're just sitting there and saying casually, oh, I was like that from the start. No, you weren't. Stop pretending.
Right?
Facebook, and it's just like, obviously, let's talk about the left. Like,
Dude.
yeah.
I think it was best it was best the way Chesh put it. He was leaning towards all those things, but people were there, like, you know, Boo was there, even Kyle to some extent, and, you know, Chesh and Red's Rhetoric and all other people, you know, they were there to give him a pushback and tell him this, listen, you know, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, and would give him pushback, and he would be open to listening to that and modifying his views or, you know, pulling back. But now he doesn't have that. All the anti-cages like Aaron and Renelle and Veda and Sean, Megan, all these morons, Southern Mutton, Suzanne, all these people, they down the rabbit hole at bedtime, or Katie Parker, Nikki, you know, Nicole Farron, they all created an echo chamber around him. Isolated him, created an echo chamber, and there he was able to just do whatever the hell he thought was right. And nobody gave him any pushback, asked for any references or citations from him. And here we are today. Now he's all alone, and all these, you know, his friends are nowhere to be found, and now as a last resort to have some semblance of relevance on internet, he's decided that he will try being a MAGA and declare it openly, right? Just like when Brett Keane became Christian and forgot all of the atheist talking points. Sure. Right? He did a lot of political stuff with Landon. Yeah. What about that?
Facebook is my friends and family, right? I've got people on there that I've known my.
Yeah, right. I thought you said you were focusing on the real life. So now Facebook is okay. So Facebook are your friends and family? Okay. EMP Network from for £5 has said from the live chat, Steve is equal to a con artist who got conned by a con artist and later tried to con an artist. Oh my god, that is awesome. That's a good one. I like it. That's a nice one. That's cool. That's really cool. Okay, what I'm gonna do is, because it's been an hour since we have been live, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna what do you say? I just put the kettle on. I'm just gonna go and brew some tea. I'll be around, and let's just let it play, and I'll just make some comments in the background. But yeah, this is all being nostalgic about the past, and he's trying to rewrite history. That's what he's doing basically. So I think he does that for another like 5 minutes or something. But let's listen.
My entire life since I was a kid. I have ex-girlfriends on there. I have my military friends. So those people know me in real life, right? So they're not just somebody that, some random.
Hey, Steve. Sorry, talking about military friends. Is Nikki Daly your friend? They are a trans person, right? They're a trans woman. Are they your friend? They're ex-military. I wonder.
Person, not you obviously, but some really random person that has no idea, has never spoken to me. It's a very different situation. Like these are personal friends of mine, right?
Thanks for adding me up on your personal.
But you're not. But I talk to you. There's other people I have no idea who the hell they are. My Facebook,
sure, bro.
Right? And they come at me sideways, and I'm like, dude,
really? Ansgar is someone you don't know.
I just tell them I'm not interested. Move on, kind of stuff, and then they get all flippant and whatever. But yeah, so I focus more on my Facebook and my Twitter.
Right on,
but you're right.
Steve,
politically,
if you put your shit out there on the internet,
so much, if not even shattered, that even me as more of a centrist, right?
If you put your shit out on the internet, right? Why are you surprised that people are questioning you on it? Why are you surprised? Why are you labeling it as, oh, people come at me sideways when they're like, Steve, what the fuck? Citation needed. What's your reference? What's this Trump derangement syndrome that you keep talking about? Why are you MAGA now? If you're going to put it out on a public, like on a, a social platform like Facebook, there will be people who will question it. Obviously, you're putting it out, it will be scrutinized. So why are you surprised? I don't know why they come at me sideways. God. God's auditor from the live chat. Again, his entire political stance has changed from the Steve I knew 7 years ago. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Became all of a sudden far right when I'm not.
Yeah,
but anything that is on this.
Steve, we with what limited we know about you, we know that you have gone far right. You think Antifa is some sort of a homogenous big organization, and you can pinpoint it, right? You just blamed LGBTQ and supposedly an LGBTQ organization of having links with Hamas and having a hand in assassination of Charlie Kirk. That's conspiracy theory, indulging in conspiracy theory. You were talking about critical race theory. You are a fucking full-on racist. So you are far right. Far right people talk about critical race theory and all that stuff. So, yeah, we know from the limited information we have, you are far right. Just because you say you're not, doesn't make it true. And that's why I think so you don't talk about your policies anymore, or where you stand on your policies, and you talk about these, outrage-inducing points like immigrants and illegals and all that stuff, because you won't be able to claim if you made your policies or your stance on the policies evident or clear. People will know for sure that you are a far right person. So that's why you now talk in vague terms now. So yeah.
Side of the left that doesn't promote things like men and women having dicks and shit like that. If I curse,
there we go with transphobia and stuff.
Anything that's not left of that, they consider to be far right. So
yeah, they do. You're a Nazi, you're a bigot if you don't, agree with a man becoming a woman, or hey Wrangler.
Nobody says that you're a Nazi if you don't agree with a man becoming a woman. That's like conflating two separate issues. What the fuck? If you're talking about critical race theory or critical replacement theory, whatever that is, then you are a Nazi. Sure, you're a Nazi. And if you talk in these terms, like a man becoming a woman or and all that shit, then you're transphobe. But they're two separate issues. Can you be both at the same time? Sure. But Nick is just rambling away and he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's just like, I don't know, I think so he's overly tired for some reason, and he's doing this live stream even when he's overly tired and he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Which I think so shouldn't be an excuse, because I'm also overly tired and I have my notes here, and I actually got obsessed because I couldn't find one of my my references right now. Almost got obsessed because I was like, where the hell did my reference go? In short, I'm saying Nick has no standards. That's all I'm saying. Nick has no fucking standards. God. He's just happy that he has someone, a bigoted person like Steve, sitting on a live chat, live stream with him, and this guy, Tard Wrangler, whoever they are on over here, and they haven't said a bit in last 1 minute or something. So.
What's going on, bro? Thanks for coming. Just wanted to say hi.
Oh, they just popped on. Is that what happened? No, they have been here for quite some time, and okay, whatever.
Not a whole lot. I figured since you threw the invite, I'd come up. Steve seems like he's pretty cool so far. Might be a cool conversation.
Yeah,
give me 5 minutes.
Yeah,
give me a few more minutes.
He had a really successful show there called the Non Sequitur Show back not too long ago. That's where I met him from online. So I didn't know if you ever seen it or whatever, but yeah, I figured you and Steve would probably get along pretty good. You guys are both pretty well read and stuff like that.
You know what's funny is I have ChatGPT that I use just for whatever stuff.
What? He uses ChatGPT and he's still bad? Holy shit. Okay, he doesn't know how to use AI. Okay. Alright, whatever. What the fuck? Oh god. He uses ChatGPT, guys. Fuck, no wonder his brain is like fucking... No wonder his talking points are so shit. He uses ChatGPT. Hold on, I need to listen to this again.
You know,
get along pretty good. You guys are both pretty well read and stuff like that.
You know what's funny is
God's auditor. I just like clarified that. Yeah, he's bad because he's using ChatGPT. Yeah, I got it. He had a successful YouTube show, past tense. Yeah, it's all nostalgia. It's all like, oh, in the good old days.
I have ChatGPT that I use just for whatever stuff, and
whatever stuff. See how vague he is? He's like trying to avoid I use ChatGPT and that's why I'm so shit. What do you use it for? If these are your talking points, yeah, I'm not surprised you use ChatGPT. Noodle Disco from the live chat. No research done into what he's been up to since, obviously, or just plausible deniability from Nick. Yeah.
Just started using the voice features for it, and I asked it who I was.
Oh my god, Steve is so alone now. He's having conversations with an AI. Holy shit, Steve is so alone. I thought he was focusing on real life. Is this real life, Steve? Asking a ChatGPT who you are? Are you so starved for attention and validation that you're asking an AI chatbot? Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh god, this is so sad. This is not sad, it's pathetic. Holy shit, it's pathetic. Oh, oy vey. What the fuck? This is so pathetic. Oh my god, I never thought this would be so pathetic. Oh my god. Steve, get help. If you're asking ChatGPT who you are, then you need help. Holy shit. And the thing, and that's dangerous territory. We have seen that ChatGPT is not a good, ChatGPT is not a good companion. Holy shit. I guess maybe he named one of his girlfriends like as like he has a chatbot as his girlfriend, probably, I guess, set up as his girlfriend. What the fuck? Like, no wonder I didn't make any notes about this section because I forgot that he talked about ChatGPT. Stop looping on this, Manya. Why? I'll loop on this as much as I want. He used a ChatGPT. He's stupid.
Wow, it knew.
It did. I seen that.
Oh, really? You used ChatGPT and it knew who you were? Okay.
If you ask ChatGPT, but it's telling me in voice. I've asked it before in text, and I knew that. But voice, you hear it back, you say like, "Who's Steve McRae from the Non Sequitur Show?" And it tells you, and I'm like, "Dang, that's pretty impressive."
It didn't know who I was, and I've had like all kinds of people on my show, like.
Isn't Nick trolling him? What?
I've had Dr. Hugh Ross on a few times.
Well, you know, Hugh and I go way back, right?
Oh yeah, again, you know, Hugh and I go way back. Oh my god.
Yeah, I knew you knew him, but I didn't know you go way back. I had him on twice, and like doesn't know who I am. So
I love Dr. Hugh Ross.
Nick, please don't be as pathetic as Steve. Don't depend on Chat AI for validation. Please don't do that. Oh my god.
Again, we don't agree on the religion, obviously.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, because I do know the man quite personally. I've been at events with him. We've had long conversations. He actually really does believe what he believes, and I respect that.
Okay, they're just okay.
So, yeah, with agree to argue.
Cool.
And I'm still friends with them all. I recommend
the whole old Earth creationism thing. Like, I'm a Christian, but I don't think the Earth is 6,000 years old. That's for sure. But yeah, he's a great guy.
That's a little bit fresh for my taste.
Yeah, he's a great guy though, because I really like using him up against the flat earthers, right? Because I'll tell them like this is a guy that
Nick is not a young Earth creationist. Okay. Then why is he debunking evolution? Like why does his description say that he wants to they want to debunk evolution? I don't get it. That's weird. Okay.
Dedicates his life to going to like secular universities and trying to make people believers of Christ. So do you really think people like him, who has a PhD in astronomy and theology, I think, is going to go something
spectrum, right? He's a little, actually is autistic, and so autistic people like him are geniuses, right?
The Earth being
that's not true. Or like, not all autistic people are geniuses. That's.
Do you really think people like that are going to be in on this big conspiracy, lying to people about the Earth being flat? Like, you know, come on, right?
No, he thinks the flat Earth is completely ridiculous. For example, I don't think he really thinks these people that believe people.
He does.
In order for the people who are faithful for that to work, it needs a lot of time for all of these things to conspire. Just everything just popping up immediately doesn't work.
For the
young Earth creationist, you mean?
Young Earth creationist?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a faith-based belief, right? I mean, and this segues awesome into the wokeism thing and biology, because
now after 15 minutes we get into the segue. We get a segue into wokeism. All right, let's go.
They want to basically put their belief first, and then if the evidence doesn't correspond with their belief, it's the evidence that has to be wrong, not their belief, which is a really poor way to do it.
What? What are you talking about? Demonstrate it, please. Show me one thing. Okay, hopefully he demonstrates
right.
it. So, citation needed.
That's what I was gonna say. Like that one thing that really gets to me is the whole like lie. Like they were gonna say it's science, but it's obviously a lie. The whole biological gender is different than gender identity. Like that's the one that they come up with in the last few years that I really bothers me, because like how are they different? You know, they're not different. You're not, you know,
it's a linguistic thing.
Yeah, it's all like word salad.
Well, there's a linguistic.
No, it's not a word salad. You just don't understand it. Just because you don't understand scientific terms or science, you know, doesn't mean that it's wrong. Again, Steve was just saying that, you know, they put their belief first and then they try and disregard the evidence, right? The belief will stay steadfast. The evidence has to be wrong. That's what they're trying to do here, right? They don't bring up any definitions here. They're just sitting there and yapping away. Oh god, my tea got overspilled. Fuck. Damn it! I have to make new tea. I don't like this. I hate this. I always overheat my tea and my thing just overflows. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, no, 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 don't spill, don't spill, don't spill. Shucks. Oh well. I tried making a tea in the middle of the night. What was I expecting? Manya, what were you expecting? That you're going to get a good cup of tea in the middle of the night? Of course not. Need to clean the floor. There's tea spilled on the floor. Okay. Alright. Okay. Let's go back. Okay, this is stupid. Excuse me, sorry, my bad. Okay.
Linguistic difference when you want there to be, like, words are polysemous, right? So they have different usages and they have different strengths. For example, a sensu stricto usage of a term versus a sensu lato would be different contextually. So if I would say, like, in a very strict sense, a woman is an adult female, adult human female, that's fine. But we also use women just as far as anybody who's not a man, right? And man could be a kid as well, right? Mankind includes women. So these words have different usages and different scopes. And what happens is they came in and they want to use that vehicle of linguistics and manipulate society into believing things like a man who believes is a woman is an actual woman.
Okay, I'll ask for citation needed for this one. Please, citation needed. Or Steve, you're just rambling away. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Contrary to actual science, and I don't.
Well, no, that's mental illness.
You know, well, here's the thing, though. Think about.
Wow. Just fucking wow.
This, okay?
I'll let him finish before I start my shit.
There's different types of people that believe this stuff, right? There are the true believers, right? There are probably a few people that actually truly believe that they are women. I'm going to grant that arguendo. I think it's very small.
So nice of you,
Steve.
Steve.
Grant that there's a few people that do actually believe it. Arguendo.
How kind of you, Steve, that you gave permission for the trans community to exist.
Rest them. I don't think they actually believe it themselves, but they want other people to believe it. They want to be affirmed.
Oh, you mean they want validation? They don't want to be ignored or erased? Is that what it is? What's wrong with that? Like, what the fuck?
And other people tell them that they believe it in order for them to feel like they have power. It is absolutely...
Yeah, when you recognize someone as they want to be recognized, they feel empowered. Yes, that is important. There's a reason that, black community in America asked for equal rights. Women asked for equal rights. Because unless you're not going to acknowledge them, They cannot demand equality, or you cannot concede that yes, they deserve equality, or they should get equality. It starts from recognition, from acceptance. What are you talking about? This is just basic stuff. You're just ignoring basic definitions. Biological sex, if I might start now, right? It's a cluster of traits, chromosomes, hormones, gonads, genitals. Even biologically, sex is not a simple binary. It never was. Intersex conditions are real and well documented. Gender, in psychology and sociology, equals to social roles, identity, and expression typically associated with sex, but not identical to it. It's associated, not identical. Major medical bodies like APA, WPATH, etc., they recognize gender identity is distinct from sex and recognize gender dysphoria as a legitimate diagnosis not reducible to quote-unquote delusion. The medical bodies are saying that. Who are you to come and question that unless you are able to release a paper of some sort or a study of some sort that would refute the medical organizations? Who the fuck are you? Huh? And the fallacies here, the strawman fallacy, right? They pretend that quote-unquote gender identity was invented in the last few years as a word salad, ignoring decades of research. Again, erasing the communities, their existence. How are you going to give them equal rights or going to concede equal rights to them if you're not willing to recognize them? What? That's how it has always been. Like people like Steve, they try and erase people who they find uncomfortable to deal with. That same thing happened with the black community. Same thing happened with women, including white women. It was especially bad for the women of color and black women, but white women too. There was a women's suffrage, and they had to like grab their rights before they were accepted as and recognized as equals. And then appeal to like quote unquote actual science with zero citations, no citations, right? I'm just saying like give me citations, nothing. They assert that recognizing trans identities is contrary to science while ignoring what mainstream medical organizations actually say, right? There are books here, right? Yeah. And there are articles here. There are books and articles here, right? There you go. This is back in 2015. Like, at least I come up with references. This guy does nothing. The first surgical gender transformation was done in 1917. Yeah, it was way back. Gender identity is partly biological, brain structure, partly sociological, social roles. Yeah, I can agree with that. Like, how hard it is, Steve? And then, using I always get this word wrong. Pathologizing language. For example, mental illness, using mental illness for people who have gender dysphoria, they're trying to use mental illness as an insult to them. And then trying to mind read. By trying to say they don't believe it themselves, but they want, it's about power, they want others to believe it. How the fuck do you know, Steve? How the fuck do you know that? He wants like rigorous epistemology from atheists, then he just casually dismisses entire scientific and clinical fields with quote unquote it's mental illness and word games and all that stuff, along with Nick. Just sitting there casually. and not and I get it, because he's so privileged. He doesn't recognize the importance of, he doesn't get the importance of recognition and validation and acceptance. That's the starting point to going ahead and asking for equal rights, equal representation. He just doesn't get it.
Absolutely a power thing, 100%.
I don't get it.
I kind of get that to some extent, where you're forcing other people to affirm a reality that you don't actually believe in yourself, but because you have the power to do it, you do it anyway.
Again,
yeah, it's a minute.
Again, anecdotal evidence. I need a citation for this. Anecdotal evidence is not evidence, like, unless you provide me with a citation for it. Right? And again, they're just twisting it. They're just twisting it into this, you know, what do you say? Into this conspiracy and this mind reading. Yeah, there are bad actors everywhere. Yeah, but to like, you know, to like demonize the whole community based on it. Because why, if there are people like that there, and they're not in large numbers, they're just a fraction, like, you know, 0.001% of the total trans community, why are you focusing on the bad actors in the trans community? Why? And asking for validation and recognition and acceptance is not wrong. It's about dignity. A person's dignity, recognizing that they have some level of dignity that you cannot just, you know, dismiss.
It's manipulation, and it comes straight from critical theory. If you guys ever looked into
critical theory
with Marcuse and the Frankfurt School.
Okay, let's listen to that.
This is textbook from them. What they were a group of philosophers, German philosophers, and they were basically trying to just, instead of just describing reality, the best way I can put it.
Critical race theory, is that where that comes from?
Yeah, that comes from all that. Yeah, it comes from
critical race theory.
It all comes from critical theory from.
God. Okay.
Frankfurt School.
But it's come from critical race
reality,
theory.
most
Trans community comes from, I don't know how, and critical race theory is somehow related. I don't know how, but yeah, okay.
Philosophers describe things, right? They say, okay, I see this, and I want to have an explanation for it, right?
Ideological terms.
Correct. But what they did, they wanted to actually control and change society. It was more prescription than description, and that's where the problems come in, because that's how Marxism came to be. That is how the movement from the woke, that started from the woke. Just
what do you mean by woke? First of all, define woke for me. You are 20 minutes in, and you have not defined woke to me, nor you have defined me who the left are. First, define what woke is. Start from the basics. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Frankfurt School critical theory, right? The Horkheimer, Adorno, Marcuse is a body of work analyzing how power, culture, and economics interact, including critiques of both fascism and Soviet-style communism. It's not some secret manual to control, quote-unquote, control society, all right? It's a normative project, like many other philosophies, describing power structures and arguing that they should change. They're arguing for change. That's what they're talking about. Oops, sorry. Looking in my notes from my looking references again. This is what it is. Here's my citation for this one. Excuse me. Excuse me. Whew. Right? So Steve has no fucking idea what he's talking about. They use basic Marxist concepts to analyze the social relations within capitalist economic systems. This approach became to be known as critical theory, not critical race theory, Nick. Those are two different things. That's why I was just like, where did critical race theory come from in here? What the fuck, Nick? I'm just sitting here just like parroting whatever Steve is saying and just adding, oh, critical theory, it's similar to, sounds similar to critical race theory, so I'm just gonna say that. How the fuck do you have 60,000 subscribers? Seriously. Like, how do you have 60.7k subscribers with 247 videos? Like, what the fuck? If I click on this or critical theory, Marxist-inspired movement in social and political philosophy, it's not critical race theory. Originally associated with the work of Frankfurt School, drawing particularly on the thought of Karl Marx and Sigmund Freud, critical theorists maintain that a primary goal of philosophy is to understand and help overcome the social structures through which people are dominated and oppressed. I don't know why you would be mad at this. I don't know why you would be mad at this type of, study or thinking. Steve just skims over things, and then he just thinks he knows what they say. Just casually, Nick said, oh yeah, from critical race theory, and Steve was like, yeah, sure. While not explaining the connection at all. Yeah, Titan, you're right. He doesn't understand anything about it. I'm actually learning a lot by trying to debunk Steve, I'm learning a lot. It's like going back to college, trying to debunk morons like them. Holy shit. God. Holy. So, intrigue feline, because they commit the genetic fallacy mania. Yes, I'm about to bring that up. The logical issues here. Genetic fallacy. X comes from critical theory. Critical theory is Marxist, so X is bad. Bypassing, specific claims, any specific claims, and then also conspiracy framing, right? Turning a set of academic ideas into a unified intentional program to program people. Like, what? I'm fucking enjoying this because this is so. Steve is so stupid. So fucking stupid. Oh my god. He is so stupid. Why is he so stupid? Please somebody explain to me. And this Nick guy is just sitting there. These two idiots, they just sat there. They did no preparation, right? And they just like to hear the sound of their voice, and just they're sitting there and just like yapping away, like no preparation, nothing. Like, no wonder nobody's interested in listening to you guys, because you have done no preparation at all. No preparation at all. Nothing. Zero. Nada. Holy shit. I'm gonna go to the nature's call. Till then, you guys listen to Chesh's stream. I know most of you have watched it already, but just watch it anyways, right? And I'll be back in 2-3 minutes. Just give me 2-3 minutes. I'll just go and attend nature's call, and I'll be back. I need to, yeah.
Cannot claim that Charla or me or Nonsense or Kathy or Manya or whoever the fuck you want to pick is harassing you by responding to this video because you fucking put the video out and are suggesting that in response, no matter what I do, it can't be considered harassment because you're a fucking idiot. It's almost like that's not how anything fucking works.
I never initiated anything regarding her. She initiated.
You talked about her on your channel. You put her name out there that she didn't want. Then when she complained to you and said that she didn't want her name out there and asked for other people's help in your group, which is this is all things that you just said happened, you and your group proceeded to stream about her. That's not her responding to you. Or sorry, that's not you responding to her. That is her. That is you instigating. You're instigating this shit, you dumb motherfucker. Good fucking lord. What are you taught? You literally just explained this. You just said out loud that she offered you information in private. You proceeded to use that information in private and then fucked up. And then when she was trying to help you correct your fuck up that was harmful to her, you took offense to it and then proceeded to make a bunch of fucking content. You instigated this. You fucking started it. You went to her fucking family on Facebook to go and fucking reach out to them to then bring them onto streams to fucking start shit with her. You did that. And if we want to talk about, oh, yeah, fucking bring receipts to this shit, okay, fine. Uno momento, por favor. Let me just go ahead and go and grab my screenshots that I have of fucking bitch shit McGee over here. No, that's the appeals. Excuse me. Uno momento. Let me go find this in my fucking screenshots that are forever long. Elbows world. Yada da da da.
She was low. Sorry. Oh my god, sorry, intrigued. My bad. I should have checked it before I left. Sorry guys, sorry. Alright, coming back to these morons. Fucking idiots. Oh my god, my brain. But we are going at a good speed. In my opinion. Okay.
Things and being aware of certain things, like maybe there are some cultural differences, some race differences. Okay, men and women are not the same. There's differences. We all accept this. But they use that as a divisive tool to segregate people. And
how?
And basically change the way we use words, right? For example, do you guys remember back in the day they were upset whether we used the word master slave for a circuit breaker? You couldn't use it anymore.
Oh my god, that is true.
Who the fuck said that you can't use it for you can't use the master slave thing for the circuit breaker anymore? Who the fuck said that? Where? Please, again, citation needed. What are you talking about? Give me some what do you say? Some educational program that says that. Please, citation needed. Huh? What's
Terminology that existed for so long in
Correct.
just like hard drives and stuff that they had to go in and rewrite code woke. And it didn't work.
hard drives and stuff? They had to rewrite the code woke? What? Where? When? Citation needed. Who's this Todd Wrangler guy? I have an engineering degree. I haven't heard that. I haven't any literature on that. What the fuck is are you guys talking about? And Nick is just sitting there and he's just like tired and he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna say yes. I'm more concerned why it's more important to you to call it that. What do you mean? Never even heard of being a thing. It used to be. And we never made a big deal of it. It was just that. Intrigue provided a... hold on. How to configure master and slave BIOS for 2 hard drives. Oh yeah, this one. Okay, hard drives. Okay, in that way. Yeah, it's in 2024. It still happens. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. When did that change? Oh, sorry, wrong. When did this change? Who rewrote it? I don't get it. Where? Yeah, updated May 15, 2024. Yeah. Huh? Nani? Oh, I opened it twice. I just cannot. Okay. Whatever.
It's linguistic programming.
They changed the Canadian national anthem from All of Our Sons Command to All of Us Command. Just for an example.
So, but
That's different, you fucking moron. That's not about woke. That's about all equal representation for everyone. Us is inclusive for everyone. Like, what's wrong with that? How is that compared to master slave like setup in BIOS? I don't get it. I just.
according to them, a woman could be. What's a woman? Well, anybody who identifies as one. So that changed the meaning, right? That made it into a very, very loose understanding of what we mean by a woman. Because you go to
Yeah, because you said words are polysemous, right? So why are you mad? Why are you mad?
the average person who say, "Hey, go find me a woman," they're going to go find a woman, right? So we have an understanding.
What do you mean by go find me a woman? In what context? What for? A modeling job? What kind of modeling job? To marry? Alright, what do you expect from that marriage? Like, what are you talking about? Yes, Intrigue Feline is right from the live chat. Words change over time. Smitty from the live chat. Canada is only like 17 years old anyway. Who cares if they change the theme song? I see what you did there. I see. Okay. Like, this fucking nonsense. Just sitting there and just spouting nonsense.
And when we use certain terms, what they mean, but they didn't want that. They wanted to control the dialogue. They wanted to control it by political power. Because again,
How? Where? When? What are you talking about? Who are they? Who are they? First of all. Smitty from the live chat. I'm fine if you use woman to mean female sometimes. Why is using it in a different way bad? I don't know. Noodle Disco. Well, we heard why Steve got suddenly salty towards trans women, allegedly. Yeah, I wonder what happened there. Yeah. This whole thing, you know, they wanted to control it by political power. Again, coming up these like conspiracy theories with nothing to show for. And these two other morons, Nick and Tard, are just sitting there like, oh my god, that name is so stupid. But yeah, just sitting there and just like, you know, just yeah, that's what happened, you know, and just totally like misunderstanding that why, you know, a national anthem may have been changed from sons to us, maybe because it's inclusive. It's not just about sons, it's about everyone. Daughters, mothers, fathers, brothers, everyone. How dare they? How dare they become more, you know, inclusive? And comparing it to like words being used in technological ways, and then like saying that they were changed or a change was forced. Like it's like they're creating this false equivalence here again, right? That's what's happening. They're saying that, you know, because they rewrote the Canadian national anthem, therefore what we're saying about, you know, they had to rewrite this whole, you know, technical manual around like, you know, configuring master and slave BIOS for 2 hard drive disks, whatever, was also changed. When we can clearly see that language is still used. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's why you don't try to talk to like people like Steve who are wannabe engineers. Or pretentious engineers, like, who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And don't want to even, you know, look into it. Intrigue Feline found it in like a minute, like just like that. Done.
really do think that the left latched on
Okay, so they are left, but we still don't know what he means by left. We don't know what he means by woke. So yeah.
to woke and wokeism.
Here we go. You know, latched onto woke and wokeism. What is woke? What is wokeism? Steve, shame on you for using a concept that was, you know, that was helpful for the African American communities, you know, in the past, and you know, minimizing it and you know, and degrading it in such a way. Shame on you for doing that. And you live with an African black woman. The irony of the whole situation.
In order to further their political power by gaining the support of the far left radicals that either A, really did believe this, or B, were profiting from it somehow.
No.
What are you talking about? Again, how were they profiting? You're saying they were profiting from it somehow, so you don't know how, but you think they are. Somehow, but you don't know how. Sable Eagle from the live chat. There you go again, talking like you think daughters are people, not property. You're not wrong about that, but Steve is. Noodle Disco. This Steve gave Nick a list of 500 accounts to block? Yeah, he straight up said in the start. Noodle Disco from the live chat. And he posted a pic of that black woman's house online. What if someone sends her a pizza? I guess he doesn't care. You know, who cares?
Not wrong. Not wrong. You're on point in this matter.
How? Wrangler, what the fuck? Why aren't you asking Steve for citation? My pause game is on point, always. Where are your citations? What, Wrangler? Why aren't you asking him for citations? Give him a pushback. You're just being a yes person here. Like, what the fuck? I'm just making myself something to read because this is getting boring now. I'm getting bored. But I know I made a commitment, but I have to finish this. This is so boring. Just sitting there and just like jerking each other off. Come on. Noodles work. I'm making ramen for myself. Because this type of stupidity requires ramen. Nothing else will work. Nothing else will work. Just ramen. Should I crack an egg in it? Maybe I should. Let me see. Maybe I'll crack an egg in it. I'll make it even more nice. Oh, I didn't drain the whole water. God dang it. Sorry guys, give me a minute. I'm just trying to get something to eat because this is ridiculous. This is making me hungry. I'm so stupid. Why are people so stupid? Why do they think that they can sit on YouTube and just say bullshit? I wish Chesh was here. She makes fun of these people. I want to make fun of these people. That's what they deserve. Someone make fun of them. Like, come on. It's so ridiculous. Okay. Now we wait. Oops. Okay. Alright. I'm not touching it. I'll be right back, guys. Just give me a second. Total idiots. Seriously. Fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. Food time. This shit makes me hungry. Stupid people make me hungry. There was Arid, and now there's this moron. Or these morons, if I might dare say. Come on. Okay. While you happen, we'll try and see a little more. Come on, Manya, let's show them how jerking each other off is right. Phantom X11. I don't know the guy seems, but name seems familiar.
Or they didn't even necessarily believe it themselves, but as long as it was a vehicle,
Correct.
Jack Dandy.
Yep, that's exactly what I believe.
What do you guys think the end game is? Like, where is this, like...
Oh, let's indulge in conspiracy theories, guys. Let's go, let's go. What do you think, by the way?
How is this leftism creeped into, like, Western society so...
Oh, leftism. Now leftism creeped in Western society as if it's some sort of something bad. Oh, okay, gotcha, gotcha. I see. I see, Nick, what he did there. I see.
predominantly, and, like, what is the end game of this? Because, like, a lot of governments, like, even the European Union are all on board with this crazy wokeness, too. Like, you know.
So equating, we still don't know what wokeness is, so I don't know what the fuck is Nick is also talking about. So like, what are you talking about, Nick? What the fuck? What are you talking about? Can someone tell me what is woke? What is wokeism? Either of them. Can either of them tell me what is it? Please.
You know what I mean? Like, what is going on here, I wonder?
I think it's for the downfall of America.
Yeah.
I think that they couldn't.
Oh, okay, here we go. Fear mongering. Here we go. The doomsday predictions. Downfall of America.
Pick us militarily, so they took us ideologically. And before we even went on stream, you and I were talking about Islam being
here we
encroaching.
go. Here we go. Islamophobia again, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Intrigue line from the live chat. Leftism has never creeped in. It is a natural consequence of progressing civilization. Elements we have today already existed in other older civilizations. Yeah. And then I think Smitty from the live chat, Western society has been defined by increasing leftism since the Enlightenment. Cafe, hi Cafe. Yeah, quote unquote, wokeness was originally referred to being aware of social injustice, particularly racial inequality, but has become a widely debated political term. It's just, I think so it has been maligned and minimized and degraded by people like Steve and Nick, because they don't want the issues that that people the people of other races face. They want to minimize their issues, so they are trying to degrade the term woke and trying to redefine it in a degrading way. Hopefully that's right. Woke has a definition. It means things I don't like. Wokeism is supporting things I don't like. What? Oh god, you guys are cracking me up.
On American soil and taking root in American soil. And again, I'm not Christian, but if you pit a Christian against a Muslim in America, who's going to be more patriotic for America? I'm sorry, but it's going to be the Christian.
Who the fuck made you the judge of it? Who the fuck made you the judge of it? Again, treating Christians and and Muslims as like these monolithic groups and tribes, right? As if we don't have extreme Christians. So Nazis are more patriotic than a regular, Muslim. Is that what you're trying to tell me, Steve? Is that what it is? But that's what it looks like. That's what you're trying to say. If you put a Christian besides a Muslim. Nazi is also Christian, isn't it? Like, they claim to be not Christians. So you think that... God dang it, this moron. I got food.
9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Because when you
Oh,
when
nine
you have
times out
Muslims
of
coming
10.
to America, but they still have allegiance to some other country that they're from, and they have beliefs that they can
What?
lie to the infidel to
How? Where does it say that? What?
to promote the religion, that they want to have Sharia law.
Dude, you know how many bad things are there in the Bible? I guess good Christians don't follow everything in the Bible because they know what it is being a decent human being is. But for some reason you don't grant that charity to Muslims. Why? I don't get it. Huh?
It is a form of well, I hate to say it, but it's an invasion. I mean, I don't know whatever word to say it, and I don't like using hyperbolic terms. And people say, "Well, Steve, that's far right stuff." Well,
Did you say invasion or evasion?
but
Hold on.
well, I hate to say it, but it's an invasion. I mean, I don't know whatever word to say
invasion.
it, and I don't like using hyperbolic terms. And people,
That's all you have been doing this till now, till this 24-minute mark. You have been using hyperbolic terms. That's all you have been doing. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition, right? Like, what are you talking, Steve? That's all you have been doing, using hyperbolic terms.
people say, "Well, Steve, that's far right stuff." Well, but it's not. If you look at Dearborn, Michigan, if you look at other places, they're predominantly heavy Muslim. They have already started having their own police force based on Sharia principles.
Dearborn, Michigan
yikes.
Dearborn, Michigan just instated a bylaw a while ago that said they're allowed to blare their call to prayer over their loudspeakers at like 100 decibels or something. That's really loud, dude.
And other cities are doing similar things.
Okay.
They're catering to them.
A jet.
Okay, let's start with this. Dearborn and Sharia law. Like, this claim that Dearborn is under quote-unquote Sharia law and as Sharia police has been debunked repeatedly. Alright? Dearborn has a normal city government and ordinary US courts. Rumors of Sharia courts or police are internet myths. Alright? So, if we go here, yeah. For years, there has been an absolutely stupid rumor that the Detroit suburb of Dearborn, birthplace of Henry Ford, is now under extreme Muslim Sharia law. Sharon Angle, a bizarrely ignorant Tea Party candidate, claimed this wasn't so when she was running for the U.S. Senate in Nevada 5 years ago. This was on January 28, 2015. That's an old one. Where's my other one? Hold on. Let me look at my other source. That's a little old, but maybe that's how old it is, right? Hold on. इस अंबर के नीचे आगे है कातिल मेरा और मैं पीछे There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Found it. Dearborn, Michigan, we are not under Sharia law. And this was in November. So it's a decade-old thing they're bringing up. It's more than a decade-old issue that has been debunked. That's how far back they are going to, like, insinuate outrage and trying to fearmonger. Sorry, what? What's wrong with you, Steve? Seriously, these, like, they are still living, like, way far back. They're living before COVID. That's what they're living in. Spread widely through social media, the story published at the National Report satire site, which publishes fake news in the manner of The Onion, though perhaps more obliquely, sparked an outpouring of outrage from conservatives who have been warned by a number of conspiracist anti-Muslim organizations that Islamic radicals intend to begin imposing Sharia law in the United States. Thousands of phone calls and emails came pouring into Dearborn City Hall. It reached such a boiling point that the Dearborn mayor's office issued a statement over the weekend clarifying reality. Dearborn has never been nor never will be under Sharia law. We are governed by the U.S. Constitution, the Constitution of the State of Michigan, and the City of Dearborn Charter. These fucking morons fell for a satire site. I rest my case. Rest my case? Right? Here we go. If anybody wants to read it. Here we go. It's like, yeah. Okay.
Engine is 120 decibels, just for reference.
It's really loud.
This one also, like the other one, I've got more stuff. Yeah. Michigan mosque noise rules, right? Recent disputes in Dearborn and nearby it's not recent if I'm not wrong. Hold on. This one is it's in 2025. This one is a recent one. The other one is old, right? And you can talk about concerns about, high volume, but I don't know where this whole thing came from, where they're claiming, bylaws allow them to blare the call prayer at 100 decibels. I need a citation for that, please. Give me a citation. Because you are then, again, I'm quite sure, sorry, if I'm not wrong, you have misunderstood the issue. Absolutely. Or you are being dishonest and you are on purpose trying to weaponize it to fearmonger and to incite emotional responses from your viewers and audience. And you're spreading misinformation on purpose. That's what's happening here, in my opinion. Right? The recent disputes in Dearborn and nearby Hamtramck are about noise ordinances, not special privileges. In Dearborn, daytime noise is capped around 60 decibel in residential areas. Complaints are that some calls to player exceeded that, not that 100 decibel is legally allowed. Yeah, 100 decibel is deafening. 80 decibel is deafening. "100 decibel is roughly a motorcycle or a jackhammer. It's all about that it's violating the limits. It's not about special privileges. Nowhere it's about special privileges. Even here it says 40 Dearborn residents asked city to lower volume on mosque outdoor call to prayer. That's what they're saying, that they are violating the ordinance of 60 decibel, not that they have been given special privilege for it. There we go, if someone wants to read this. A concert is 100 decibel. There you go. Just sitting there and just yapping away and not doing any research. Look at Steve sitting there smug. Busy street is about 80 decibel. Yeah, sure. And this whole claim of own police force based on Sharia principle, right? We just found out there was nothing like that. It was a satire website, Steve and Nick and Wrangler, and you fell for it. What the fuck? People are so stupid. These people are so stupid. Oh my god.
Loud. If you lived within blocks of any mosque, you'd hear that blah, 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 5 times a
Oh my god.
day on Americans.
Yeah. Let's be Islamophobic now, and Steve is just sitting there and just letting it happen. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Soil.
Yeah, well, what do you think's going to happen in New York? You're already getting that right now. Look what happened in Times Square. I mean, they're
yeah. I made a short out of that video you played on Facebook there. Yeah.
What they're talking about, I have no clue. So, what fallacies they're indulging in here? They have what they have indulged in so far. As I said, fear mongering. False analogy, treating a city with a large Muslim population plus noise ordinance fight as equivalent to parallel legal systems, right? And slippery slope, like calls to prayer is equal to Sharia police equal to downfall of America, right? Yeah, some church bells ring loudly for every hour. Yeah. At noon you get 12 long rings. Yeah, we don't mind that. It's just Islamophobia. That's what it is. Trying to weaponize it and fearmonger and incite, emotional outrage. That's what it is. And no citation, nothing. I went around looking for citations and I found out that they fell for a satire website. Fucking morons.
Do you find my content on Facebook enlightening? Because again, I'm getting mixed reviews. Although I think what I put on Facebook is pretty legit. I do try to do.
Just because you think it's legit doesn't make it legit, Steve. Citations, references, they make it legit. Again, my pause game is on point. Decibels are logarithmic. Yeah.
My own, I hate to say research, obviously, but I mean, I vet my stuff. I don't just throw.
No, you don't. We just saw that. I just proved you don't vet your stuff. You fell for a satire website.
Stuff again up there. I make sure that what I put out there is probably 90% accurate to the best I can do.
90% accurate? It's not even like 20% accurate. You get everything wrong, right? You got the Frankfurt study wrong, right? And the line of philosophy wrong, right? You got the Charlie Kirk assassination, the whole thing wrong, and you got intersectionality wrong. You got you confuse critical theory with critical race theory. Like you're not a reliable reference or you can't be cited. You are not reliable. Your narrative is not reliable at all. Phantom X from 11 from live chat. 90% accurate means I agree with 90% of it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh yeah, I love that.
EMP Network from the live chat. Best of people don't get things 90% all the time. Yeah, I don't get it right all the time.
I put the documentation as well, and people still think.
No, you don't understand documentation. In my last stream, I explained how you got everything wrong around, all the cases that you were talking about, around the cases against Trump, his bankruptcies. You got everything wrong. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. How, more than half the time. Actually, you don't know what you're talking about all the time.
Think, oh, it's just an act. The government's just acting here. They're just, trying to support Trump.
Who said that? Citation needed. Again, citation needed, please.
Trump, and I'm like, so you really think that all this is an act? I'm not buying that.
This is the video that I got from Steve's Facebook. It's only like 50 seconds. I'll skip through my little intro, and I'll just.
Oh my God.
Play it. This is what's happening in Times Square already since this guy became.
So yeah, someone said here in the live chat, Titan said Muslims gather in Times Square to pray during Ramadan. What's wrong with that?
A mayor-elect.
We're done hiding. We're done. We're done being tortured and hurt and judged. This is the correct religion. This is the religion that all of humanity needs to be a part of, Islam. And we will not stop until it enters every home. So I want you to repeat after.
I don't know where this is. This could be anywhere. How did you verify that it was in New York or Times Square?
To me, I want to.
Can you point out some landmarks that might show? And again, you're demonizing the whole community based on this one extremist. Should we do the same with Christianity? The whole Christian community based on what Nazis do? or neo-Nazis do in America? Should we do that? Genetic fallacy, overgeneralization, oversimplification, guilt by association. Should I continue the list?
Hear it in every single.
Maybe it's AI. I don't know, Megan. But I don't know. They say it's from Times Square, New York, but I have no way of verifying it.
District, it should tremble.
It's just like this guy is saying, this signs and this person is saying the fruits of Zoran Mamdani, but there's no way of verifying this, where it's from.
Brooklyn should hear it. The Bronx should hear it. Queens should hear it.
Bronx should. Okay, hold on.
Me, I want to hear it in every single district. It should tremble. Brooklyn should hear it. The Bronx should hear it.
Bronx, Brooklyn. Okay. Is this Times Square?
Queens should hear it. Say it as if the Ummah depends on this, my brothers and sisters. La ilaha illallah.
This is New York City.
Okay. And Christians say that it's the true religion. That doesn't mean that, you know, the whole New York is making compensations or, you know, making, you know, what do you say? Is making compensation for the, you know, Muslim community. We don't know. It's just one person screaming. We don't know if, like, where this came from. What's the context? Nothing.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
There is
Do they not do this in NYE? I don't know.
no God worthy of worship except Allah, the God
Like, Christians do that too.
of Jesus, the God of Moses, the God of Abraham, and the God of the last and final prophet Muhammad. Sallallahu alayhi
Yeah, Kent Hovind does the same.
wa sallam.
Yeah. The God of Muhammad, the guy who married a 6-year-old when he was 54 and had 50 plus wives.
Yeah, we can talk about, you know, slavery being... I'm not saying it's right, but, you know, what I'm saying is every religion has its dark parts. Decent people don't follow them. Just saying. For some reason, you want to give the pass to Christians that they will be decent and they won't follow the dark parts, but for some reason, for Muslims, you don't have that charity at all.
I really hate when they start saying that, oh, Islam means peace. No, Islam does not mean peace. Salam means peace. Islam means submission to Allah.
Yeah, for sure. That's the difference. Well, one of many differences between
Again, words are polysemous, right? You said, Steve?
Islam and Christianity is Allah only loves those who love him first. In Christianity, God loves everybody. And I've seen Muslims, well, your God loves Hitler? Yeah, he does. He doesn't love him.
And I have a problem with that. And Steve is just sitting there and he's okay with it. Okay, fine.
Fortunately, he's part of the crew.
But here's the
Unfortunately, he's part of the crew. I refuse to believe it that Todd is a leftist. I refuse to believe it that this guy is a leftist.
catch, right? When people are dishonest in their argumentation, they catch things like that. So if you would say, oh, look, so you're saying that God and Jesus love Hitler. Well, Hitler was still a person and God loves all people. So under the Christian...
Oh, really? Hitler was still a person? Oh, okay. I see what you meant by MAGA. You're now a fucking neo-Nazi by the looks of it, sounds of it. Because I don't believe Hitler was a person. I don't think so. He should get that generosity from society.
Christian banner under that ideology, that's consistent. You know, I don't have to believe something to be true or false. I look for consistency. So it would make sense to me from the Christian point of view that God loves everybody, including... Now, does that mean God liked what he did?
No,
not.
Of course not. Of course not, yeah.
Right. But I don't see anywhere in the Bible where it says God...
Steve, you definitely know what God knows.
Stop loving someone.
No, God loves everybody.
Yeah, God loves Hitler too, according to Christians, but that's not a problem at all. But a Muslim chanting a prayer in the New York Times Square, that's a problem. But saying that God loved Hitler, according to their Christian faith, is not problematic at all. No. But a Muslim saying in the Times Square that Islam is the true religion, that's wrong. See the fucking hypocrisy here, Steve, or no? He's complaining about cheap shots at Christianity, your God love Hitler, and then immediately leans into cheap sweeping attacks on Islam earlier in the conversation. That's what he did, exactly. He praises theological consistency for Christians while refusing to grant the same charitable reading to Muslim theological or textual traditions. You can call it we can call it out as double standard reasoning, sophisticated nuance for his in-group, caricature for the out-group, or the others. Right? That's what it is. Double standards. Noodle Disco from the live chat. Just when you think he can't go fuller potato, right?
Hates the sin they commit, but like that's just one of the many differences between Christianity and Islam.
And let's be real, where did Hitler likely end up?
Yeah, for sure. Like we're not saying, as Christians, we're not saying Hitler's in heaven or anything stupid like that.
No, but God still loves him. So how can he end up in hell if God loves him? I don't know.
So, but anyway,
but in theory, if he repented, he would have been, right?
Yeah, if he meant
it. Here we go.
And actually repented and meant it, sure. In theory, as a Christian,
again,
of course,
that's consistent. And I don't like cheap shots at religion like Aaron Ra would do and kind of that stuff. The new atheists, I hated that stuff because it doesn't make much sense to me. Because if it was the case, then God would be an almighty being that only looked at.
It doesn't make sense to you, Steve, because then you get to be a bigoted, hypocrite towards other religions. That's why.
The temporal aspect of our lives, which would be insignificant in a universal, infinite expanse of time, supposedly that would be afterwards, it would be meaningless, right? Sure, everybody did some horrible stuff. Obviously, Hitler was the worst of the worst, but I don't even know idea what people would be like in heaven anyway.
Well, Stalin was pretty bad too. Stalin did some pretty. There's a lot of bad.
Oh, Steve will allow it. I said, religion is bad. You can say, another ideology is bad, Yeah, sure. Well, let's balance it out. Sorry.
I don't know if it...
Yeah, right? That's a different conversation and has nothing to do with politics of Muslims versus Christian public displays of, with their faith.
I'm not gonna get in the whole topic of who.
But I don't think it's a way.
But I know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't think it's a reason to demean Christianity. That's all.
No, for sure, bro. But yeah.
But one person saying that Islam is the only religion is the reason to demean the whole Islam and all the Muslims, right, Steve? Yeah.
Yeah, I just like.
Yeah, Smitty from the live chat. Stalin was bad, but I don't think it's essential to say that when criticizing Hitler. It's whataboutism. That's what it is. What about Stalin?
So the whole leftist woke thing, like you think that it was like someone from outside of America that secretly like kind of started it and instilled it in the West to bring down Western society, maybe to make it more communist.
There we go. More conspiracy theory, guys. Let's go. More conspiracy theories.
Like or something.
Oh, I think it's absolutely not just foreign and domestic, right? I mean, look. I mean, they just elected a communist to the New York City mayorship. I mean, that's that's unheard of. Now, granted, there was laws a long time ago about electing communists, but they weren't enforceable, so they were kind of struck down. Some of them may be still on the books, the Communist Control Act, but it's not enforceable.
Does he actually identify as a communist, that guy?
He identifies as a Democrat socialist, but if you
so that's not communist, is it? But I see him as a communist, because I don't understand the difference between what's a democratic socialist and what's a communist actually.
Really listen to what he has to say.
Because I want to fearmonger, I want to indulge in conspiracy theories, and I want to invoke false outrage. So I'm just gonna falsely equivocate both of them. Shall we have a look? Hold on. Give me a sec. Let's see. If I do a Google search, right? Uh. You know, if I go and I look for it, hold on. Let's see. Let's look. Yeah, right. Let's see. Okay, here we have. Okay. I knew I had that search somewhere. All right, Steve. Let me give you a lesson, right? Let's just give you a lesson in what's the difference between a democratic socialist and a communist in context of US. All right, specifically US, since you are, you know, so lazy, you're a fucking lazy bum who wants to do no research. Let Professor Manya teach you what it is, right? In relationship to democracy, democratic socialists, they advocate for multi-party liberal democracy, civil liberties, free elections, and constitutional rights. They seek to expand, not abolish democratic institutions. Communists, in classical Marxist-Leninist theory, believe liberal democracy is a bourgeois tool that must be replaced by proletarian rule, that is a dictatorship of the proletariat. Historically, communist systems have implemented single party rule. Classic example, China. Alright? Positions on market and private property. Democratic socialists support regulated markets, mixed economy, and some private ownership. Want major industries like healthcare, energy, finance to be publicly owned or heavily regulated, but still accept small businesses in market competition. Communists seek the abolish of private ownership of the means of production, factories, banks, major enterprises, support a planned economy rather than market competition. Role of the state. Democratic socialists prefer a welfare state and worker-controlled enterprises, do not advocate for a total state takeover of all the economic life, and communists envision a transitional state-run economy ultimately leading to a stateless, classless society. Practical politics in the US. Democratic socialists typically operate within the Democratic Party, advocate reforms, Medicare for all, free college, workers, cooperatives, stronger unions. Communists, represented by the Communist Party USA, CPUSA, which is small and does not participate in US electoral politics at scale, advocate full systematic replacement of capitalism. There are some similarities, yes, but they are not the same. For some reason, for Steve, a democratic socialist is a communist. The key similarities that are there is both are anti-capitalist but to different degrees. Alright? Democratic socialists want to reform capitalism and reduce its power. Communists want to abolish capitalism entirely. Both support strong worker rights like unions, worker protections, reduction of corporate power, workplace democracy, right? Both prioritize economic equality, higher taxes on the wealthy, expanded public services, reducing income inequality. Both favor major social programs, universal healthcare, free or affordable education, housing as a right, but that the degree varies. Hoxel, these arguments are making me want to drink, but I can't due to surgery tomorrow. Why are you doing this to us, man? Oh, I'm almost done. I'm gonna stop. I'm just trying to educate Steve. We have reached the 30-minute mark. I'm not going to go beyond this because it's going to be almost 2.5 hours. I'll keep it restricted to that because I don't want to overtire myself also and not you guys too. So we'll stop here for today. How about that? Does it sound good enough? So that's what we will do. We'll stop here, and so you guys don't have to worry about it. I wouldn't even call it anti-capitalist if they believe in a mixed economy. That's democratic socialist, but I think so communists, they want to just it be a state economy. They don't want it to be a capitalist society, right? But for Steve, some reason they are similar somehow. Let's just finish this one and this whole segment, and then we'll move on.
Communism. I mean, no
yeah,
question.
he's trying to put like government stated grocery stores and everything in New York.
Won't happen. No, and look, they've already said free buses, not going to happen. $30 minimum wage, not going to happen.
$30 minimum wage.
Who said not going to happen? Who said free buses won't happen? Who said like and also there's like grocery claims of like of Mamdani, I think so if I'm not wrong. Hold on, give me a sec. Where are my notes? My notes. Where are my notes? Hold on, where are my notes? We'll finish after this because clearly another segment is starting after this. So yeah, government, fire department, police, streets and parks, not gonna happen. Yeah, right. Titan, he's underwriting grocery stores in food desert areas. Yeah. Okay. So so massive. Okay, I think so. We will do this next time because it's a longer segment. I am just looking at my notes now. It's a longer segment, so I think so we'll stop here. And then we'll revisit it next time. How about that, right? Because it's already close to getting... It's more than 2.5 hours. I don't want to go till 3 hours because I'm exhausted. So we'll do the next rest next time. Yeah? How does that sound? Does it sound good? I think so. That's better, isn't it? So yeah, we'll do it next Friday again, same time, around the same time, and please leave a comment down, below, and let us know what do you think about it. Yeah, and if you have any questions, right? All right, Smitty is ready to say good night. All right. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. We'll continue the rest next time. Hopefully, I'm less tired next time so that I can cover more. But today, this is my capacity till 30 minutes. That's it. And yeah, maybe this layout is better because I like the live chat to be properly magnified and visible on the screen. I don't mind if I'm myself as small, right? So yeah, so maybe I'll keep this format for next time. We'll see. We shall see what we do with the format. But yeah. All right, cool. Thank you everyone for coming, and I'll take your leave now. Have a good night. Bye.
Oh? See, that would be intimidating if you were, well, intimidating.
Are you mocking me?
Oh no. Yeah.